Hello, Rick97, and welcome back to Always Ready, the first mission in the Charge of a Stryker Brigade campaign. And we're about 10 minutes in, and although things have been going relatively well in terms of we're causing disproportionate casualties to the Russians, I still feel like we've taken too many casualties given the size of our forces. So we have lost 5 infantrymen already, and given we've only really got, 15 proper kind of soldiers, that's a third of our infantry force, which is pretty uncomfortable. So I've kind of had to think about it, and I probably need to not quite rest on my laurels, but maybe hold a more defensive position. Probably maybe rely on a little bit more artillery support now we've got available, and seek advantageous engagements with the Russians. Part of it I think was thrown slightly because I wasn't expecting them to charge at me, and so they've ended up in a few unexpected places, like these troops around here. So I just think he's trying to expose my soldiers to less gunfire, as I just can't afford to take any losses. With that aim, we've got the following few bits and pieces planned going forward. So we were having trouble with the gentlemen who have taken residence on the 3rd floor of this building, so I'm going to utilise some troops to try and dig them out. First off, I'm going to bring this striker around who's got the 53mm grenades, and he's going to leather the building with those. And at the same time, I'm going to scoot this 50 cal forward just a little bit, and he's going to join in to generally give those guys a pretty bad time of it. Now, I am conscious there's an infantry team kind of coming up this middle of the road here, and I will have to keep an eye out where they go. And I'm wary that if they kind of pop themselves in this building, then I could easily get an RPG inside of a striker, and that would be pretty devastating. Meanwhile, I'm also going to move this guy again slightly further forward, just so he's not, I'm not going to shoot myself in the side, and he's just going to fire maybe another 30 seconds or so at these guys, just to kind of inflict a few more casualties and really break them as an effective fighting force. Meanwhile, we've been bringing our sniper and our javelin team up, and they're going to take residence in this main block. The sniper, I'm going to separate from the javelin for just now, but long term I'm going to have him probably take residence in this back quadrant, just to keep an eye over potentially these guys coming in, or just any other soldiers we see out and about, and hopefully just pick off a few stragglers. But before I do that, I'm going to have him just tied up in here while the javelin team come over here and will attempt to take out the BRDM with one of their javelins. And on the anti-vehicle front, obviously we have our 2 ATGM strikers over this direction. I'm keeping one here, but I'm repositioning him slightly just to try and give him some better views. The second one, I'm actually moving entirely, and I'm going to bring him around to this position where he has a reasonable line of sight down towards CP11 and a bit more of the open ground, as well as the bridge around Objective Sabre, just to open up the chances we're going to spot something and get the most out of those two. And that's it. I'm a little conscious, I think I'm torn by this third scout group. They are a little bit exposed. I did want to push them up, kind of grab CP103 and then bring them back in. I am still working towards that, but I'm conscious I'm kind of dividing my firepower here, which is not always the greatest thing to do, especially when my eye in the sky doesn't have visibility over where they are pushing in. Now, can I, or should I push you back? I can, and I will. Let's push you back a little bit to there, and I think that better, and we'll just keep moving you backwards as we push forwards a little bit. Perfect. I was toying with the idea of calling in a strike on that tiger. I know it's only a tiger, but I do have... I've got 12 guided rounds, which is given us what, 3 guns I've got in my battery? That's the wrong one. So I do have 4 missions, will it be, which I'm definitely going to use the drone for. But I'll hold off now. It doesn't feel high value enough. But given all we think they have is tigers and BRDMs, then I'm not sure if we'll get a better one to use it. But it might be better holding off and scouting further afield. So that's what we're going to do. Right, let's without further ado, let's kick things forward. Hopefully, not get too more casualties. And I'll see what happens to these guys in the middle as well, because that could be quite key to see if and when they get up and where they go. It looks like some small arms fire came down, but hopefully we've now got enough suppressive fire that they're questioning their life choices and are heading off somewhere else. This is probably a little bit risky. Maybe not the smartest scenario. But job done. Oh, interesting. You ran away. I'll have to see what's happened there. No casualties. And I think what's happened to my Jeep? I think he's got lost in his waypoints. Wow, you have driven miles away. Wherever you saw absolutely terrified you. I wonder if that's going to be another BIDM coming this way. Okay. Look at that smoke. So what happened to you, my friend? Was it just small arms fire that spooked you? Your gunner's got to get out to fire. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, you were in the second story rather than... Oh, okay. Oh, that wasn't an RPG. That was an actual ATGM they were using against my troops. Now, he is... dead. Okay, so it looks like we've knocked that position out, but which is good because this could have got a lot worse. Okay, first grenades go out. Pretty inaccurate. Yeah, it was a red cross there. That's good. Let me lose sight. Hopefully that's another dead... And it is another dead Russian. Good. But then you run away. Yeah, let's see what happens before you run away. Nothing really interesting. Okay. But pretty happy with that little exchange. Meanwhile... Are we causing a bad day generally for these guys? Yeah, although they're not. They're not dying. Oh, how? How do you survive that? Okay. Fine and dandy. Good. Perfect. Done and done. Let's go back to command phase. How much? This is now a good question. How much do I care about those guys? And maybe not so much. We'll leave them where they are, conscious that they're on our flank, and we'll let our sniper and teams, etc., deal with them. Right, you are still trying to feed your way through there. I'm tempted at this point just to like not bother and let the guys go on foot. No, we'll do it. We'll do it. I believe that you can make this work. Especially with all the smoke, actually, it's a perfect time for you to get in here. I'll just do that. I'll let him get out and then I'll position you in a better position. Position you in a better position? Sure, why not? You have got yourselves in quite the pickle, my friend. Now, actually, I say that. This isn't a terrible position because you are able to shoot over the top of this wall. So we'll scoot you forward and see what you can see. I'm interested to see what that resolves itself to be. You are dealing with your casualties, and you're still going to do that, and I'll let you guys keep doing that. Now here I'm slightly torn, so I would like them to do their buddy aid. So I might just leave them be for just now. Let them continue to do that. In fact, what I'll do is let's split them in half. I can't. There's not enough of them. That's just fair. Right, I'm going to clear your target. Have you... now, if this... have you scoot up. Don't want to how much... yeah, let's go. Let's go. Push up a little forward. Again, I want to take care of these guys that are in the street. Okay, which he's now seen it and is doing. Excellent. Okay, no resolution on that vehicle, just sound contact. Oh, something's shooting at you though. And depending on what it says, with any luck, one of our ATGMs is going to pick it up. Especially if the guy has got anywhere near his new position. Which is not a million miles away though, but perhaps too late. Maybe the troops over here are doing some small arms fire or Stryker. I'm slightly worried we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot in a minute. Okay, that has resolved itself to be... Oh. Come back here, please. Oh, that's actually relatively scary. What kind of got on that? 30mm. Yeah, okay. That I would love to put a tow missile in that. Whereabouts are you? How far away are you? You're coming round to here. I'm not sure you are going to be quite quick enough. And you, my friend? I think you should have... Yes, you do. Okay, you have perfect line of sight. Good. You going to get him? No, you lost sight of him. Oof. You should get him back if he comes up over here, though. Presumably. Can't believe you lost him. Cannot believe you lost sight of him there. Okay. Okay, that's fine, dandy. I'm going to move you out of the way because I don't want you continuing to annihilate the troops over here with your grenades on the off chance that you shoot this guy in the side. But I'm going to reposition you so you're facing that threat and you can kind of deal with it. I'm also going to move you guys into the ground story here so you can take care of your mate, and you guys are now moving in position. Excellent. This Jeep is not particularly useful right now, so I'm just going to tuck him back around here so he doesn't become a liability. Now we do have lots of time, so let's not... I'm not going to try and crazy advance. I'm going to let this smoke clear out. I'm hopefully going to put an ATGM inside of you. Or the top, I should say. Here we go. Yes! Beautiful. And you're expending a little bit of 50 cal ammunition, which is fine. One thing I want to check is how much, what is your kind of ammo like? You have a couple of hundred grenades left. Okay. And presumably you're going to annihilate that parked car in a moment. Unnecessary, but I'm sure it made the gunner feel good. Okay, Javelin team is now in position. Excellent. But before that, let's go and enjoy ourselves. A perfectly executed ATGM shot. Beautiful. Beautiful. If you could do that 7 more times, I'd be a very happy bunny. He wasn't even looking the right way. Actually, I don't know where he was going and why he was running away, but I won't complain about that. Given this is supposed to be a war of, you know, relative equals, I feel like they've brought a lot more toys to the party than we've got. Okay, good. Okay, well, actually, who's got eyes on you then? Well, you guys do. You're about to... I'm not sure I want you to do that. What is your angle? Oh, I mean, yeah, okay. Maybe. That feels like a very difficult shot. Do you know what? I'm actually going to... Let's go command phase. I might tell you just not to bother. And say, hey, get your heads down. And if need be, we'll have to sneak closer before we try and engage that, and I'll rely instead on my Javelin team who's about to get in position, who I think are going to have a much better view out this window. Yeah, perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. Now, we have got ourselves out here, so I do want to get these guys out. And let's just get ourselves into the wood, and then we'll get supported by our Stryker, and we'll maybe peek through, do some scouting on CP-103, see what it's like. Potentially I might even borrow the drone and stick it over there for a couple minutes before we push in, just to be safe and secure, because we have a lot of time on the clock and I should use it. Okay, you guys have gone to ground, perfect. I don't want you attracting large caliber machine gun. You've seen them. Aiming, go for it. Still aiming. Away she goes. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Well done, team. It's exactly what I asked you to do. Great. Is there any more ATGMs kicking about, actually? No. Some more single-use launchers, but that's it. Okay. Alright, and then things have quietened down. So I feel like we've dealt with the immediate threat. I do have to be wary of, what do you call it? Odd remnants that are left. You know, I might find there's the odd soldier here and there who's going to cause us problems. I will have you guys move into position and put your body out. No, not assault, please. Just move into level 2. Good. And then we'll have to plan how to move forward from here. I'm tempted to hit this building again, just to be sure. Well, that's maybe a little bit OTT. I ain't gonna lie, slightly paranoid. Although, no, it should be okay. These guys, I'll let these guys do spotting. Right, Sniper Man, now you're in position. I want you to move over to level 4 here. So you can see unfriendlies coming. And for you, just now, head over to this one. Do I want you on the roof? No, go into level 4. Don't really have a ready target for you just yet, so hold fire there. Good. Okay. Now we've probably got a few moments of more relative calm coming up as I just kind of tweak the forces, shuffle everyone forward, continue to scout with the drone. So what I'll probably do is I'll put a bit of a cut in here, and if we get something particularly interesting and tasty, we'll come back. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just manage it myself. So, all going well. I'll see you hopefully a few minutes down the line when we've got our next identified targets. Okay, we're only, I think, about a minute further down the line, but our new ATGM position here did spy a tiger off in the distance. Obviously, once it had spotted him, decided that that was very much a target he wanted to engage. And first, I thought he had missed or hit a tree or something. So you can see there's no hit notification. Although sometimes I've got to make sure I've not accidentally turned it off. But as you can see, I just kind of spot there. It comes in, it seems to actually miss and hit the ground beside it, rather than the vehicle itself. But with enough damage. But look, why don't we just double check I've not actually turned it off? Because I sometimes do when I'm doing other things. Because I'm an umpty. No, hit vehicle text is definitely on. So it's just a near miss. Yeah, it's taken it out. Interesting. Well, got the end result that we wanted, even if it wasn't, you know, strictly speaking, the method. The other thing of noting is you hear this spit spat of little fire in the distance, is that our troops have spotted an ATGM. Was left the ATGM team here, so he did actually set up his ATGM in that corner over there. And so I've moved my marksman over slightly, so the marksman and the what's left of a scout squad are engaging him. He goes to ground him and disappears. I may need to bring in a little bit of additional support. Potentially they'll bring in the 50 cal just to rinse the bottom floor of that. Oh, and it looks like that tiger's moving out just the end there. Indeed it is. Hello. Hello you. Where are you going? I mean, you've got no one but a driver, so you're no actual threat at the minute. Interesting, I'll keep an eye on that. I'm assuming there's infantry in that building, given that he's deposited them somewhere. But there we have it. So I'm probably, again, I'm just going to hold this position for the next couple of minutes. deal with this guy, see if we spot anything else with our drone. Actually, probably move the drone. We'll scoot it back slightly further. And then we'll move heading in towards Sabre and Spar, having touched objective 101. Grant, and so like I said, I'll bring you back. If I don't expect anything particularly interesting to happen with this guy beyond me rinsing him, but if it does, I'll let you know. So here we are. Same position about 20 seconds later, sorry, far from the camera. It turns out I did not bring the big guns quickly enough. So although we did get the kill shot right there, not until he'd managed to completely move his ATM kit under fire, set it up, and then fire around and kill 2 out of my 3 marksman team, which I'm pretty bitter about. On the plus side, he is now dead, so it's threat resolved, but that's that hurts. That hurts. And then I noticed this tiger merrily chomping down the road. I'm not entirely sure where he's planning on going, but he's about to bump into my team here, who do have a couple of 84s. And failing that, he's then going to come across sight of my 50 cal here. So that's all going to go pretty well for us, I should say. Gunner is not out though. Please open up so you're in position. Don't hide. Yeah. Sorry, marksman. And I'll needless to say, you're not having a great time. But go back there. You're going to have to buddy aid your troops, and then I'll leave you in this Overwatch position, which I had planned for you originally before things went slightly awry. These guys are in position, but do you know what I'm going to do actually? Is hold fire and get... not my how it is. I don't know why I keep getting those mixed up. No, let's adjust this mission. Let's go over here. Let's do that. Confirm there's nothing there so I can move in and clear that out. But why don't we hang around and see what happens to this tiger, and then we'll leave it at that point. You guys missed! You're the worst. Okay, that's just a grenade popping, but I mean, of all the kind of, you know, anti-tank shots... Here you go. Perfect. You're so close, driving straight down a road. Absolute nonsense. I mean, he's got no gun, luckily, otherwise you'd be in a bad time for now, and I'll probably just swing my 50 cal round and take him out, just so he's gone. Excellent. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to hold these guys there while we check 103, get a touch objective, and then probably bring that scout group in towards this road. Again, I'm just going to keep moving the bird every time that we do, but it does feel like most of the kind of Russian resistance on this side of the river has been eliminated. So again, I'll probably put a wee break in here and bring you back next time we find some Russians. Okay, so we're a couple minutes down the road, and the scout team I have on this right hand side, who've been kind of sneaking forward, have made I've spotted a tiger guarding the road. This one a bit more dangerous, as it does have a gunner in position, and she's got facing away from that CP, but kind of over in this direction, waiting for us to rear our heads. Now, rather than use this team Stryker to come around for a flank position, because they've got the automatic grenade launcher, which is not as effective anti-vehicle at this kind of range, I'm going to reposition the Raven drone, so I'm going to scooch it over. I think I've already given the adjust mission. Why not? I'm sure I could have sworn I've just done this. Anyway, I'm going to do it again. We're going to adjust this mission, the Raven's area of mission, over to say here. So I've confirmed, and then we're going to use some 155 rounds to take that out. I'll probably go for the guided, just because I don't use them very often, and we've got a fair few. Otherwise, we've seen 2 infantrymen run off into this building, so something to be aware of. And otherwise, it's all quiet on the eastern front. I'm just kind of starting to load up some of the guys back into the vehicles. So I will probably hold my position, wait for these rounds to come in, because I don't think the call-in is particularly long. 5 minutes, yeah, okay. So we'll knock this guy out, and then we'll push it on forward. So I'll maybe bring you back if we for when those rounds start landing, or if something else in particular happens. So literally 0 time has elapsed, because the very thing that happened that I didn't want to do. So after these guys made the spot, I put this target arc on them, because I didn't want them to fire a few random rounds at this Jeep and let it know it was there. And as soon as I started the next minute, that's exactly what they do. And so he now drives off somewhere, so we'll have to keep an eye out of where he's going to reappear and potentially cause some problems. Which is frustrating. I was wanting to try and get 155s in on the action, but it's not the end of the world. I'm sure we can find other ways of taking him out. Strikers have been pretty effective, especially this 50 cal, and knocking out these Tigers. So we'll see where he reappears, but the general plan will be to find, take him out, and then we'll keep pushing forward, ever so slowly. So just as we were slowly inching forward, some pretty brave Russian HQ troops decided to make themselves known by just popping off a few rounds at one of my Strikers, obviously to no effect. And unsurprisingly, it had a pretty poor result for them. As first the 50 cal opens up, and then when his mate over here decides that's not enough, he joins in with the automatic grenades as well. And that's a few more dead Russians in a pretty badly damaged building. Meanwhile, we have snuck in and taken objective CP-103. Still no sign of where this Tiger has relocated himself to. Oh, it's there. Perfect. So why don't we take this opportunity then? We shall, in fact, let's use you. Do you have a quicker call-in time? Nah, still 5 minutes. Are you parked or are you moving? I don't know. Well, we'll find out. We can call it in, because if you start driving away, we can also cancel it. So let us get you to do a point target on this vehicle. I don't feel like we need 3, but we might miss. Maybe just let's go for 2, and let's go for precision. General, immediate, go. Okay, so I'll come in at 51 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll remount these guys up, and they'll probably push in this direction slightly. Yeah, especially if he does head off in the general direction. Awesome. I'll just get that command right now. Let's clear your target and get you to remount up, please. Perfect. Okay. Well, hopefully I'll bring you back for the big booms, and if any other errant Russians decide to show their face, we'll hopefully show us taking them out as well. Oh, one other thing I want to show you, just because it was amusing me. So our marksman, who's not in a great position, I will be moving him from the roof. But obviously he buddy-aided his friends, and so he's taken his weapons. He now has 2 meaty sniper rifles, so he's prepared for any situation, which is awesome. Cool. Right, I will bring you back if and when the next explosions happen. Okay, actually those strikes came in slightly ahead of plan. So I was expecting about 51, which is good. I'll take a few minutes when I can get it. And we did need the 2. That second was definitely a near miss if it's killed these guys rather than a direct hit, but job done, I'll take it. That allows us to continue pushing over. We've also got a spot of a few infantry just moving around in here, as well as some other infantry more concentrated in this corner. So we'll just have to keep an eye as we're moving forward that we don't expose ourselves too badly, especially to the likes of obviously short-range AT weaponry. Although, as they've seen in the hands of my PEX trooping, these are not always the most efficient weapons. So now we should be able to go in and get CP-101 without an issue, and move in towards objective Sabre. So with that in mind, and I think I'm going to go for probably for Sabre first. Every time. Let's adjust over here. Actually, I'd quite like to, I'm going to make a slightly different, because I want to see what we keep seeing bits of over here. So Yeah, do you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to go slightly deeper, find out what it is we keep spotting. We've seen like odd bits of infantry and bits and pieces. So we're going to have a look over there, potentially find some targets to drop some munitions on. We'll spend a couple of minutes just taking up some positions along these houses, just maybe trying to spy the remnants of infantry that ran off, or they could be the same ones that went across the river. And we'll push up this scouting team just into these buildings as well. And hopefully we'll find some juicy targets over here for us to throw bombs at. Awesome. I'll see you then. Okay, our slow advance ended up being significantly less controlled than I was hoping for. And could have panned out in a few different ways. So firstly, as I came into this building, we were just clearing the floor, and I sent my sniper team up to the top floor to have a look around. And turns out there was one of the headquarters soldiers had still been lurking around. So I was a bit nervous as to how this was going to go. Let's just go back to things. I mean, two things happened which made me even more nervous. First, that is an explosion from our own grenade launchers mounted on Strikers. Thankfully, that was the last grenade he had in his cylinder belt. I'm not gonna lie, I don't actually know what the feeding mechanism for them is. But then he stopped to reload, which is just as well, because I was worried he was about to kill our own pixel trooping. And then, of course, was in that who's going to win the shoot-off. And thankfully, our marksman here got the job done. It sounds like he definitely made sure of it. But that was good. So that was a little bit uncomfortable. Then there was we found an IGLA team who had been they fired a couple of small arms rounds at my troops as they were disembarking. So we were manoeuvring some people into position to take care of him. And finally, we stumbled across. You see a tiger here. It is abandoned though. There's no one in. It's just a vehicle sitting on its own. But my Stryker over there makes himself feel good about it. Yeah, and then this guy just gets annihilated from two directions. And it feels like we finally secured that perimeter a little bit. But that was a little bit uncomfortable. I don't like having these fights at such close range. It's not really what we're playing for. There's no my Raven hasn't seemed to find anything on here, so it could have just been historic pings for these vehicles that no longer sit there. We do know there is some infantry bombing around, and that's not going to get picked up as easily by the drone. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. But things like this makes me nervous when you stumble across little clusters of infantry, because you never quite know what's going to happen. They can easily, we don't have that many pixel trooping, so you can easily lose one or two, as I have done thus far. And you can, or if they've got AT capabilities, pop around into the side of your Stryker, and then bad news bears. We'd at least have one full team over there, both with 2 AT assets. They seem to be doing pretty well for themselves. And yeah, given that this has not spotted anything, I might leave it there for one more minute, and then if nothing comes awry, we're going to move it back over. But that wasn't. I think things are going relatively well. I'm contemplating as well repositioning one of our AT assets just a little bit closer, just trying maybe get some sight lines through these gaps. It's not great anywhere, to be perfectly honest. But then nor have we seen anything we particularly need to reposition them for, so I'm not sure. I can't decide at the minute if I'm now just kind of chasing ghosts, or if there is a substantive force somewhere that I just haven't found it yet. But all that being said, chasing ghosts and tracking down small teams of infantry can be pretty challenging and pretty irritating as well. Cool. Well, we are running on slight. I'm gonna put another quick cut in here, and we'll come back one more time, and we'll see just to confirm whether we found anything, and if not, I'll move my Raven over, and we can start next time with getting across this river and securing these 2 objectives. Okay, well, yeah, we spotted nothing around CP-111, so we have repositioned our drone to objective saver, and we've started shuffling our troops forward just to get ready to maybe try and get across the bridge. As we did so, I wasn't trying to push over to objective spur at the minute, but I was just leaving a force within this cluster of houses. But we did spy a tiger at the end of last minute. So maybe as a bit of a send-off for this episode, we'll hopefully see our good old Stryker here take out yet another tiger, and then we call that a day. Watch this where I lose my gunner. Oh, he runs away. Okay, that's fair. Oh no, a second one. Yeah, the range is a bit further, so your accuracy is a bit terrible, and looks like you're having to reload. You are indeed. Looks like he might as well get away with it, but I'm curious to see if that was 1 or 2. So 1 goes that way. Well, he's got a gunner as well. I think that might be two tigers. Okay. I'll have to keep an eye out for where they go. Yeah, it looks like we're getting 2 vehicle contacts now. Seems like a good objective to drop a whole lot of 155 on, because I've not really had a use for it so far. Is that a 3rd one? Oh, and he's shooting back. Gunner okay? Gunner's okay, but he's put his head down. Alright, I'm going to pull you back a little bit. Yeah, I think if they still hang around there, because we've not seen any people around Objective Sabre, then I think we're going to move our drone over here, and even if they can't spot them, we're just going to annihilate that area 155. Excellent. Right, we'll set that in motion for next time. But yeah, we're going to call this one day. So I feel like a few moments here and there of chaos. Again, disappointed we took the casualties in the marksman's team. Perhaps you'd have got some heavy hitters in on that ATGM asset earlier, but I'm now feeling much more in control. You know, we're trying to a bit more methodical going forward, trying to utilise our 155 a little bit more. So yes, I think things are going well, but who knows what happens next. Alright, hope you enjoyed this one. As ever, always keen to hear your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio!